We just got back from an 8-day detox of social media, and sometimes I wonder why I'm even on social media. It's to educate, keep people aware of what's happening. That's about it. I've enjoyed my time during the detox, felt amazing, had so much more to do, so much more creativity in this brain. But let's talk about today's topic, which is emotional avoidance and false positive mindsets. It's very common to hear people saying be positive, think positive. A lot of people are trying to be positive when they can't feel it. Now, this could be deadly for you. This could be dangerous for you, because if you are avoiding certain emotions, that means you're suppressing it. You see, there's nothing wrong with emotions, bad or good. They're just little messengers that are telling us how we feel, and that's where we get stuck. We get stuck in the feeling. But when something tells you how to feel, the next important step is how to act. Action. So if I have an emotion right now that's telling me I'm bored, okay, I can now become a victim to boredom. Or, okay, that's a feeling, I'm bored. What can I do? I can move to action. Or if I have a feeling that's keeping me sad, what is that thought that's creating a sad feeling? What action can I take? What can I do? What can I do to move away from that sadness? You see, it's impossible. It's impossible not to think negative or feel negative. It's human. There's no one out there who doesn't go through these feelings. But the point is, when we become slaves to them, we get stuck in them. And that's called emotional avoidance. Too many people out there trying to put on a strong face. Look at social media. Do you see anyone showing you the bad part of their life, the difficult part of their life? No. They're all showing you the good part of their life, or how they actually want their life to be. So the point is, emotional avoidance becomes suppression. And today, scientifically, there are many, many points that we need to understand with this emotional avoidance. Number one, increased stress. Why? The more suppressed emotions you have in you, it makes you behave that way. You're angry, you're snappy, you're always anxious, you're in the sympathetic nervous system. We know in the sympathetic nervous system there can be no recovery, there can be no regeneration, there can be no growth and repair. The more time we spend in the sympathetic nervous system, the faster we age, the sicker we are, the more difficult it is for us to recover from diseases or even prevent them from happening. So what happens is there's an underlying emotion or a couple of emotions, and then they build on. Now, because you have negative emotions suppressed, you start to have a bitter attitude. That attitude brings you what? Bitterness. Our energies attract. If I feel bitter, what do you think I'm going to attract? If I feel negative all the time, what do you think I'm going to attract? If I'm walking around with suppressed anger, what do you think I'm going to attract? So the point is, it becomes worse and worse. One is the suppression part of it. Two, it upsets your mental health, your emotional health. Even though you may have great friends around you, family around you, everything's going well for you, you can't focus on it because everything's coming from negativity that's suppressed in you. Your mental health, your emotional health, you have no clarity. And that's why it's so difficult. Relationship problems, the more suppressed emotions you have, or you're emotionally avoiding difficult conversations in your relationship, what do you think your relationship's going to be like? It's a simple example of dirt in your home. You sweep it under the carpet. Day 1, day 2, you sweep it under the carpet. Day 3, day 4. After a while, your home's going to smell. It's going to stink. It's going to become toxic. The carpet's going to be affected. It's the same thing that happens in most relationships. Most people don't have relationship problems. Most people have people problems in their relationships and emotional avoidance. Each partner is trying to avoid emotions that they need to face or they should face. And they always have the right justification or excuse. Oh, if I say this, she'll get angry. If I do this, he'll get angry. If I express this, she'll feel this way. If I express that, he'll feel this way. But you still need to do it. Because if it's not coming out from you, the expression is not coming out from you in words, it's coming out in your behavior. And that's worse. It's creating a negative energy and a toxic energy. So it may be difficult, but difficult doesn't mean impossible. And there are many ways that we can avoid emotional avoidance. We're going to talk about that later. But you need to understand that problems have to be faced. Fears have to be faced. Most of the world today has become too soft because social media and society teaches people that everything is okay. You can be okay with this. No, some things are not okay. You need to face them. You need to face them because society tells us how to think, how to be, how to act. All of that. We're all living out of boxes and we're crumbling in those boxes because we're not meant to live in a box. We're bio, individual, unique, beautiful, intelligent, literally intelligent humans that have minds that expand, but we're put into a box and we behave like we're in herd mentality. And that's where all the problems are. You have to ask your friend how to feel, ask your friend who to date, ask your friend whether you should break up, ask your friend whether your husband's right for you or wrong for you, or your wife's good for you or not. You have a mind of your own. Use it. Use it. But the point is, we become so weak as a society because we've normalized everything as being okay. We've normalized all of these things without understanding that the human mind needs to expand. Behaviors need to expand and evolve. We can't be living in a box. So in your relationship, if you're avoiding emotions, you are making your own problems. If you're assuming that your partner should say this and do this, that's the biggest problem. Ask for what you want. There are just too many people in bad relationships out there expecting their partners to be a particular way, act that way, say things. How the hell should your partner know everything about you or what you need? It's not their job to. That's your expectation. That's your ego and pride. If you want something, ask for it. If you want it to be a certain way, ask for it. You want to feel loved in a certain way or cared for, ask for it. Stop going and talking in society about what you have and what you don't have, your lack and all of that. Speak with your partner. Speak with your children directly, your parents, your siblings, your teachers, your colleagues, all of that. Don't go to the wrong sources that do not give you anything but opinions. Maybe a little wisdom sometimes, but based on someone else's experience, not your own. If you need to solve problems, you need to solve it with the source by asking questions. But because of this emotional avoidance, we start to build more and more problems. Well, there's one more problem of emotional avoidance, the physical health consequences. All suppressed emotions eventually become some sort of disease or pain or ailment in your body. You know that, from deadly cancers to an acne on your face. You're stressed out, you have suppressed emotions, you feel stuck in life, it is going to come out in disease, and that's why it has to flow. Energy has to flow, whether it's negative or positive, it has to come up. In my last few years of dealing with cancer patients, I can tell you one solid learning. There are many of them. But any emotions that you have suppressed has to come up in this lifetime. Has to. It has to be expressed. It will come out of you in some way or the other. Now, you don't want to push yourself and let it come out in the worst way possible. So let's go straight into solution mode. How do we avoid emotional avoidance? Okay, number one, recognize and acknowledge your emotions. Stop judging them. You don't like how you look in the mirror? Be with that feeling. Where's it coming from? Is it really you? Or is it your friend who said something? Or someone who judged you on social media? Be real. Recognize and acknowledge your emotions. That's the first step. Be aware, acknowledge their presence. You don't need to label them. You need to move to action. It's so simple. You need to start with this. First, recognize, accept that these are my emotions. Okay, I feel sad when this happens. What can I do? Do I need to communicate? Do I need to change something in myself? Do I need to change my company? Do I need to change my job? Do I need to change my relationship? These things, you may say, oh, Luke, it's difficult. It is, but if you want change in life, sometimes you need to do different things. Or, if you need to stay in that job or in that relationship, then you need to still do different things within that job and relationship, like better communication, drawing your boundaries, being strong enough to speak, being strong enough not to suppress and avoid difficult emotions, conflict, all of these things. Number two, find a safe space or create a safe space for expression. Find a supportive environment. Some people find it with friends, family, siblings, a great partner, doesn't matter. But find a safe place where you can be heard, where you can express without feeling judged, without feeling ridiculed. I say safe space because you got to be careful with to whom you express. Today, people, there are a lot of evil people out there. They will use your expression one day against you. You don't know, so create a safe way to do it. Sometimes you may find it in a support group. Sometimes you'll find it with a therapist. Sometimes you'll find it with an emotional counselor. Some people will find it in journaling. Some people will find it in writing. It's up to you, but find that safe space where you can safely express. This is extremely important. Mindfulness, this is so important. Between mindfulness and meditation, some people say they're both the same, but they're actually different. I prefer mindfulness to meditation. Why? I love meditation, but I like mindfulness. Mindfulness keeps you in a state which is in the present moment all the time. So if I have an emotion right now, I'm always trying to connect it. What did I do before this? Who did I speak to? What did I eat? Did I work out today, Mom? I'm very mindful about how I want to feel, because if I'm not mindful, then I will react rather than respond. I'll let my emotion control me. But remember, these emotions, positive or negative, are just little messengers. They're just messengers telling you how you feel and now what you should do. There is nothing wrong with a negative emotion. Absolutely nothing. There is everything wrong with becoming a slave to it or becoming a victim to it. So practicing mindfulness is a beautiful thing. Even meditation, clarity, you get to be aware of you. What feelings work for you, what feelings serve you, and what feelings do not serve you. We spoke about seeking professional help. That's also a take. Do that the right way. Always the right therapist. Like nutrition, there's good nutrition, bad nutrition, good allopathy, bad allopathy, good therapy, and very, very bad therapy as well. You want to make sure that you always get the right professionals to help you, especially if it's your mind, your heart, and your body. And of course, something else that can help us with negative emotions is building that purpose in our life, having a you care or a self-care routine. What is that? Activities that make you care for yourself, like your exercise, your sleep, eating good food, keeping the right friends, your spiritual path, hobbies, anything that brings you that identity, that self-worth, helps you ignore the negative feelings. Sometimes you feel negative and then you just realize how amazing your life is. You work out, you have a great routine, you're feeling great. You can look at that negativity, feel the feeling, and then say, hey, this doesn't even serve me in any way. So having that purpose and a you care routine will definitely help you with all of these things. So let's be honest, it takes time to get there, patience to get there. But the point is, it's not impossible. If you are trying to be fakely positive, toxic positivity, trying to make other people feel positive, you're only fooling yourself. After a while, you're not going to have the energy. It's going to be emotionally exhausting to try to pretend to be positive all the time and happy all the time. So deal with the negative feeling. There is nothing. In fact, the people who show you they're the happiest all the time on social media, everywhere in life, be careful of them. They're toxic positive. They don't know how to face. They're weak. When I say weak, I don't mean it in a disrespectful or a derogatory manner. They're weak because they don't know. They don't have the strength and courage to face the emotions that they're trying to avoid, or face the fears that they're trying to avoid. Every human has fear. It's what you do with it. It's what you do with it. Some face it, some become slaves to it. Some let fear ruin them. The same thing with conflict. Why do you get scared of conflict all the time? And some people act like to say, oh, I don't want conflict, so I'll just turn the other cheek. I'll be quiet. I'll be kind all the time. That's ruining you and giving permission to other people to walk over you. We need to slowly get the strength and the courage to face our conflicts, to face our fear, and to face the emotions that come up for us negatively. Embrace the positive. Also embrace the negative and use them as messengers to make and take the right action. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great weekend. It's time to get off social media. See y'all on Monday. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care is all about you.